So we have always trusted Google with our time. We have always trusted that Google will always do the right thing. I mean, a lot of persons will say simply Google it, right? Because of the level of trust we have had for Google over the years. And if you're an SEO specialist like myself, you must understand what I'm talking about, right? Spending years in the SEO industry, preaching to other SEOs to always try to do the right thing, play by the book, study the ranking factors, master the ranking factors, and try to do all of your optimization and other stuff in SEO in accordance to what Google has always told us that they want to see, or they consider as signals for ranking a content on the search engine result page. But the recent event about Google's search internal engineering documentation leak has dampened a lot of trust, has no doubt affected a lot of trust for Google. I mean, talking about the SEO community, right? So this is a current discussion in town. Everybody's talking about the leak. Everybody's talking about Google's insincerity. A lot of persons feel misled, right? But the big question obviously is, what exactly are you going to do about it? You probably will not do anything about it. You probably don't even have the powers to do anything about it. Are you going to be suing Google for this, right? Because the fact is this: a lot of persons don't understand that Google is a business entity, right? And they must do everything possible to protect their business interests. So while I'm not trying to advocate for Google, because obviously I felt misled myself, right? Having spent over 10 years in the search engine industry, right? And playing by the book, doing all I can do to rank my content, do all I can do to teach my students also to do the right thing, and coming to realize now that all of the things I've taught in the past 10 years are only but a fraction out of the several other things that I do not know about as far as ranking a content is concerned. You can imagine calling myself an SEO specialist, having ranked a ton of websites and for several keywords, right? And coming to realize someday that I only know but a fraction out of all of the things that are very important, all of the things that actually do matter in ranking a content. So it would not be a bad thing to feel misled. So I feel misled just as you currently feel misled also if you are an SEO specialist. And if you are not an SEO specialist, you may not actually understand the extent to which this has gone. You may not actually understand the gravity of what has just happened, right? But in all of this, once again, guys, what exactly are you gonna do? Nothing, right? If we have an agreement on the fact that you definitely can do nothing about what has happened and the effect of this, then obviously we should also agree that you must concentrate your effort not in talking about the leak. Obviously there were about 14,000 of them, and you cannot actually talk about the whole of them in a sitting or maybe in a discussion with a friend. So if you cannot talk about all of these 14,000 leaks, right? All of these 14,000 ranking signals that just got leaked, we should then talk about what are some of the things you can do to continue to stay relevant on the Google search engine result page, which is why I'm making this video, right? So there were about 14,000 ranking signals that got leaked. Even at that, there are still some things that has worked for you in the past that you must continue to do, right, in order to still continue to rank your content. So I quite agree, I quite understand with you, because I am also in the game myself, having been told over the years by Google salespersons that items like domain authority does not really matter when it comes to ranking, and coming to realize now that that is actually a bit far from the truth. Having been told over the years that Google does not really look into Chrome data in order to find, in order to determine ranking on the SERP, right? And then coming to realize now that that also is a bit far from the truth. I quite understand with you. I quite agree why you feel misled and why you are currently furious at Google. But hey, instead of channeling your energy into getting mad at Google, why don't you rechannel that energy into doing those particular things that you have done in the past to rank? So in the next phase, I'm going to outline about 6 different boxes that you must continue to check even in the face of these 14,000 leaks, in order to continue to be relevant on the Google's search engine result page, and of course also in order to continue to get conversion from all of the optimizations that you do either for yourself or for your clients, right? So let's hop into the next phase, guys, and let me show you around. Let me explain these 6 boxes that you should continue to check even in the face of this leak, so that you don't get overcome by the anger you currently nurse for Google and gloss carelessly over some of the things that are still very relevant and that you must still continue to do in order for your content to still continue to rank and to still continue to get found on the SERP, right? So let's hop right into the next section and let me show you around. So Google has always released updates to their algorithm. So the match core update and the spam update were actually no difference from the older ones that had been released in the past, like the helpful content, the EAT, and several other ones that we've had in the past, the panda, the medic, the human bed, and several of them, right? So all of these can still be trusted, guys. So the very first box I like you to still continue to check and to still continue to work on it definitely is building a brand around yourself. So even if you run a blogging business or you run a restaurant, right, or maybe you have any business at all that you want to optimize organically, you must come out as a business, right? Meaning that you must have a Google My Business account. I mean, you must have a Google Business profile. You must write content about yourself. You must talk extensively about yourself, do outreaches and all of that. Google is looking into all of these signals, right, to determine if a business is a brand or just an individual kind of thing, right? So one of the things I've always done in the past and I will still continue to do is to portray myself as a brand. Whatsoever it is that I'm doing in SEO, I will always portray myself as a brand. So everything you do in SEO, you must portray yourself as a brand if you want to continue to be relevant on Google. So the next box I would like you to check is to continue to take the Google's double EAT very seriously, right? So you have to advance when it comes to the implementation of the double EAT. I mean the E, E, A, and T, which is the experience, the expertise, the authoritativeness, and the trustworthiness. Every piece of content you write, every form of optimization that you do on a website, every website you buy, right, you must ensure that it is EEAT compliant, right? So take your time to surf through the internet to get to understand what the EEAT is all about, right? Read extensively about it, or you can just leave me a comment below in any of my videos, right, and ask me what EEAT is, and of course I'll take my time to do justice to that for you in the comment section. If you'd like me also to make a video about it, simply let me know also below and I'll run a video about double EAT for you to understand. So take double EAT very seriously, right, in order to stay relevant on Google's search engine result page, or in order to rank your content on Google's search engine result page. So the next box I like you to check and to also take seriously is to develop relevant and helpful content. I mean, people first content. You must write content that searchers or readers find helpful, and of course the content also is relevant to their search intent, right? So put a searcher's intent into consideration, write a content that is relevant for that particular intent, and of course try as much as you can also to ensure that the content is helpful. So I will also drop a link that helps you to read more about helpful content. So write helpful and relevant content that are in line with a searcher's intent. Just write relevant content, content that are helpful, right? Content that meet a searcher's intent, and of course you'll be well on your way to ranking also on the Google's search engine result page. So the next box I like you to check and to take very seriously is fresh content. So yeah, even in our daily lives, we like fresh foods, we like fresh fruits, we like fresh water, we like fresh juices, and a host of other things fresh that we like as humans. The same thing you must also take very seriously as an SEO specialist. Ensure that you always have a fresh content. And when I say fresh content, I don't necessarily mean that you must go ahead every day to churn out content, right? It may just be repurposing a content on your website, or maybe from Search Console, Google Analytics and stuff like that. You are able to discover fresh content ideas, right? So, but every now and then, just ensure that your content are fresh. You may obviously need to remove the published date on your content, right, so that it doesn't sell you out, right? So you may just simply remove the updated date, or maybe the published date on your content, right? Just ensure that your content signals freshness to Google's robot whenever it comes around to crawl through your content. So to do this best, I will advise that you come up with fresh content on your website. Maybe if your schedule is once in a week or twice in a week, just ensure that you are consistent with churning out fresh content on your platform. And in the case where you don't have the time to do all of that writing and updating and editing, just ensure that your content are retouched once in a while, but not necessarily changing the URL and maybe the focus keyword and stuff like that. Just simply remove the published date and maybe do a bit of adjustment in the UX or in the UI, right, of the content, so that it oozes freshness to Google's bots, right? So the next box, the next and very important box also that you must check is understanding and working with data. I mean search data. So several platforms provide you with the opportunity of analyzing your search data. Platforms like Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and several other platforms like SEMrush if you have a paid version or a free version, Ahrefs, and several other ones, right? So take your time to understand or master search data. It will really be of great assistance to you, because take Google Search Console for instance. You are able to see the currently ranking search terms or search queries, and with that information alone and the accompanying impression, the average position, and several other information about the search query, you are able to reach a conclusion on what you want to do with that particular search term, right? And on analytics, you get to see your pages that are doing fine and why they are doing fine, and how you can better work on the pages, and maybe some other information that you also need to understand. Understanding data is a key necessity to remaining relevant on the search engine result page in the face of all of these leaks and all of these noises on the internet, all of these noises about search engine optimization. So last and not least is conversion rate optimization. So I've come to realize that a lot of SEOs really do not know why they are doing SEO. A lot of SEOs do SEO for the sake of optimizing and ranking a content alone. Well, that is not true. The singular reason you are doing search engine optimization is so that you can get conversion from your content, because search engine optimization is a marketing strategy, a digital marketing strategy, and the why of marketing is to get visibility, to become relevant, and to become profitable, to make money on the internet. So you're doing search engine optimization not solely for the sake of ranking, optimizing and ranking a content. You are doing search engine optimization as a marketing strategy in order to get a visitor to convert. Put into consideration how your content is consumed. When a visitor gets into your website, how do they feel navigating through your website? Is your website user friendly? Is it good? Is it neat? And some other stuff like that relating to user interface of your content or your website. So put all of these things into consideration, and of course I can guarantee you that your content will not only rank, but it will also end up converting at the end of the day. So that will be it basically on this content, guys. It will really be a waste of time if you continue to spend the whole of your energy on complaining about Google leaks and about Google's misleading information over the years, and not channeling this same energy into doing or continuing to do the things that you had done in the past and that had given you tangible or a sizable number of results, which obviously I have taken my time to mention a few of them. There are still several other ones that I obviously cannot cover in this particular session. So if you find this video useful, kindly support by subscribing and smashing the notification bell so that when next I make content like this, you will be one of the very first persons to also see it. So until next time, guys.